Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Funkmaster Aljamain Sterling Showcase. Now, this won't be a live commentary, mainly because there was a few skips in the recording that I picked up on, so I just deleted my own audio. But yeah, rocking with Aljamain Sterling. He has had a crazy rise in the bantamweight division. You know, he had some close losses. Then he went on a pretty good win streak where he beat a former champion in Barao, and ended up losing by to Moraes. Running into that knee off an ill-timed shot, and for him to bounce back from that to go off on the run that he's had now, he completely shut out Jimmy Rivera. He subbed I think it was Cody Stamann with a knee bar, something that I'm going for right here, and he beat Pedro Munoz. He set the record for most bantamweight strikes thrown, most strikes thrown in the bantamweight bout in a 3-rounder against Pedro Munoz, the dude that knocked out Cody Garbrandt. So he has risen. And I'm really happy to see him rise to the occasion a lot more often. You know, he's putting everything together, and I can't wait to see what he does. And the bantamweight division, man, it's shaping up to be amazing. Like, just all the potential matchups that we have, I just can't wait, especially with former champs featherweight like Aldo and Edgar coming down. But back to this fight. With Aljamain Sterling, he's a B-plus fighter in this division. I don't feel like his striking is respected enough. I kind of blew that submission up, but he does have good grappling skills, as he should. Very impressive grappler. Also a All-American over at SUNY Cortland, so he has the wrestling pedigree as well. And what I like the most about him is that he's before he kind of flipped, like when he threw stuff, it wasn't really with a purpose, so to speak. But if you saw that fight with Jimmy Rivera, how he just stifled Jimmy Rivera, outlanded him every round, was able to go from striking to grappling. He wasn't really necessarily trying to take Jimmy down. He would just get him to the fence, work those clinch strikes, and just constantly stay busy in his face. So in game, if I'm on the feet, I definitely want to emulate a bit of that Aljamain Sterling dexterity, and if I'm grappling, I'm definitely looking for submissions. I'm not looking to just hold, smash. No, I'm looking to get the sub, take some ankles, and he slips out there. One thing, I don't know if you guys realize that this dude's kind of throwing little side steps, and I would understand that if it was like a little bit later in the fight. But I don't understand why, like, the first thing he did as he got back on his feet, like he just started sidestepping. It just didn't make any sense to me. So kept that in mind. If you see somebody who's sidestepping, round strikes are the way to go. You really want to avoid throwing straight strikes because they can cause you to miss, whiff, and drain your stamina. But solid round with Aljamain. I'm wondering who he's going to fight for his comeback fight. Personally, I would like to see him fight Moraes, being that Moraes gave him his last loss. And I still feel like Aldo won that fight against him, against Moraes, you know. And Cejudo might just want to fight Aldo anyways, which I don't think is right. I personally think that Cejudo should be looking to fight Sterling or Jan before giving a fight to Aldo. But I'll definitely love to see Sterling get that chance at the title. It's a great division. Sterling also has teeps in his arsenal. Good kicks, good combination of the kicks. I'll definitely look to upgrading his moveset for sure. He's throwing some crazy stuff. I know he was throwing like body side kicks. He was throwing question mark kicks. I know he does have the question mark kick in this game. But against Munoz and Rivera, he was just on point. It was probably one of my favorite performances ever. I noticed he didn't deny that. This dude didn't deny that takedown. I kind of assumed that it was because he probably tried to deny up for the rolling knee bar, which works in my favor. And I know that Aljamain has submissions from here, but I went the wrong way. He didn't go the way I expected him to go. Just having a little bit of trouble denying a few things. This fight was a yellow bar for me. But overall, I'm doing a pretty good job. Get working the clinch and just constantly advance the position. There, I should have been looking to deny to the right because that was his right hand trying to pummel back in. Got him in the side clinch. The elbow, the stun rock, take him down while he's hurt. You know, he's constantly working, constantly working. Don't give this dude a minute to rest. if there's any tip that I could say that you should have with when you're using lower rated fighters too, especially if you're trying to showcase them or anything like that, is really be cognizant of what your opponent is doing, so you don't, because the risk with a lower rated fighter, like for example, Aljamain's health stats, they're not as high as I think they should be. So yeah, you sidestepped that a little bit there. That's why that straight missed him. But if I get caught, ducking into something, or I sway into something with Aljamain, even though I'm fighting Thomas Almeida, who's a B fighter, who's so rated less, he still has a good amount of power in his hand, so I can't make any mistakes. If you notice, every time I take a certain amount of damage to the head, I just back up, recover. I'm avoiding exchanging, and I don't think this dude really knew how to press the action. When he exchange, he's kind of just waiting for me to make a mistake, and he's allowing me to have time to reset. And I can just work on the outside, just utilize Aljamain's tool set, mixing a few of my own things. He sidestepped that. So he's just hoping for me to make a mistake. He sidestepped into that body kick, and that's why I body rocked him, caught it. It's not gonna take him down. It's times like this, I wish we had a more fluid way of cutting off the cage, so to speak. But again, my round again. Body's hurt, still sidestepping for some reason. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just really doesn't make any sense to me. I think I only threw that spin to the body like once or something like that.
Alright, here we go.
Third final round.
Look for him to go on the attack early in this round to try to pick up where
Yeah, I meant to feint that.
his opponent was dazed and in big trouble when that round ended.
Just wait for me to make a mistake. Now that little trick I did there, I broke his block, and instead of going for like another strike, I go for the clinch, and it's a lot easier to get into the clinch when you cause the block to overcommit. But there, I denied the transition. I kind of skipped the video there, and the fight is over. Managed to get this rolling knee bar, Aljamain Sterling, to kick off the showcase. I was very pleased with that finish because I really did want to get this sub. Like, I really wanted to get this sub. And I also feel like Aljamain got screwed over when they were talking about Zabit's silhouette stretch over that dude. Hell, I don't even know that dude's name. Meanwhile, Sterling submitted Cody Stamann with it, and Stamann was a way better opponent than the guy Zabit was fighting. I honestly felt that Aljamain Sterling should have got like submission of the year for that, because that was really, really clutch against a really talented dude. But started off the showcase right. Got the rolling knee bar win. It was Brandon Davis. That's who Zabit got it on. Brandon Davis. But yeah, on to this next fight. Kind of getting blessed with these matchups in terms of a B and another B. But Bruce Lee, I could do a showcase on him too, because what he lacks in the grappling department, he is devastating on the feet, on the right hands. His footwork stat is high. He takes off like -5 on your chin, right? He takes off -5 off your chin if he lands a spinning heel kick to your head. And then his side kicks to the body take out like -5 or -3 or some crazy stuff to your body health. So he's a threat on the feet. Like, you really want to grapple. You want to force the grappling. Alright, smart move. I've met some players, some Bruce Lee players, where they kind of stay, and it kind of throws me off a little bit. This is a 5-round fight. Off the teeps. It's going to be a little bit hard trying to go moveset for moveset against Bruce Lee. But as it stands right now, where our stamina is similar, Bruce Lee has the striking advantage in terms of frames and whatnot. So he's got to keep things moving, looking to grapple. Thought he was going to side kick there. Alright, that's his little flow combination. Notice that he went 1-2, and he fired up that jab, body side kick. That's a little flow combination. Is that tempo? Something I was talking with Kinetic about something like that, about how everybody has their own tempo. When he brought that up, I'm like, I'm not the only one that noticed that. So, with using any character that I'm trying to showcase, I'm trying to keep an eye on my opponent's pattern, something I've always spoken about, but their tempo is a really, really key thing I like to key on. There's some players that are really good at this game, they just don't have a tempo. Like, they just throw things that you don't expect a normal human being is supposed to throw. here I'm just focused on trying to win the exchanges. I noticed that he sidestepped that. Which is funny. When you get somebody who's trying to overfire, throw, and get the better fighter on the feet, it's just time to take your time. You know, I got 4 rounds to work. And every small shot that I give him is causing him to overreact. See that? Just feints that straight right. He's trying to high block, low block. And you know, that hook looked like it hurt, but it didn't. Now he's gonna block low. Slowly moving out of the way. See how he reacts. That knee hit me there. That shouldn't have been a knee. That was meant to be a side kick. Gonna take this over on the clinch. And he went for a takedown for some reason. And that might have been the easiest gimme for a rolling knee bar. Shooting a takedown, trying to go for a takedown with Bruce Lee was not the smartest of things. I don't know which was a little bit more confusing. Sidestepping when I haven't thrown anything yet that warranted a sidestep, or going for a takedown with Bruce Lee. Now, granted, you could have tried to catch me off guard, and maybe if I was trying to pre-deny the break, but I don't really pre-deny too much. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. But we got another back-to-back rolling knee bars for Aljamain Sterling. Again, these 2 B fighters right out the gate. I obviously have a B+ fighter myself. I had the grappling advantage in both of those fights. Now, I was definitely looking to get a higher level fighter. I was looking to get fighting either Cruz, a Garbrandt, or TJ. And that's exactly what I got into this next fight. And just as I had wanted, I got the matchup against one of the A+ fighters in this division, TJ Dillashaw. Now, he got a mean buff after the Garbrandt fight for his power. He doesn't have McGregor health stats, but he is a problem to run against in this division, especially when you have a lower rated fighter. But I'm determined to do Aljamain Sterling some justice, and when you're playing with lower rated fighters, there's 3 things I like to focus on, right? 1, I try to keep the exchanges short. You can't really exchange too much in the pocket with higher level fighters, mainly because they have better combos usually. Second thing is I usually try to play with gradual damage. So when I'm fighting a higher rated fighter, I know I'm not going to get them out of there immediately unless they're really dumb and their position is pretty off. So I try to focus more so on gradual damage. And the third thing I try to focus is just take my opponent out of the element. At this fight, I did a kind of good job about that, but wasn't exactly the best fight. But I can just kind of point out a few things that people may not realize that happened during the strike in this fight. Now, the guy I'm fighting, this guy's name is Nightshades. He's using TJ Dillashaw in the red corner. I'm using Aljamain Sterling in the blue corner. It doesn't start early, but a little bit of foreshadowing there. Kind of used to that jab, feint, body shit a lot, just not now. Before I focus on that, with Aljamain, I know I'm limited in my combinations, my traditional combos. I think it's not too much of a high level. It's like level 1 or level 2. And tit for tat, I'm not going to beat TJ in an exchange in the pocket unless his stamina is extremely low, especially that workhorse spurt. And caught my kick, took him down. Here, I knew that he was just looking to try to maybe posture up, so just focus on just laying on my back and just denying, because if he's not looking to be active on top, then I have no reason to be active on bottom. If you're gonna lay on me, then you're gonna lay on me. With another thing with lower rated fighters, obviously you guys saw me get the 2 subs with Sterling in the first 2 fights. But what a lot of lower rated fighters, they have things that you don't even know about. Stephen Struve has a flying triangle. Yeah, Stephen Struve has a freaking flying triangle. Joe Lozon also has rolling knee bar in the clinch. A lot of these low rated fighters, what they lack in stats, they do have in their moveset. And you just kind of have to just play around, figure it out. Back to the fight, there's a shoot after the whipped kick, which kind of threw me off because he took me down at first. So I guess he kind of abandoned the grappling. Another thing that he's also looking to do is kind of playing on the forward vulnerability. So he's playing like a little game of footsies, feinting his way into the pocket, and then looking for me to fire back, and then he explodes trying to catch me with that forward vulnerability. I honestly feel like if the block is a little bit stronger, I mean not stronger, weaker, and we do more damage, there's the first jab, fade body straight. But I feel like if we're allowed to deal a lot more damage than what we can do now, it kind of open things up in the striking. Fix a few tracking issues here and there, like that broken jab fade body straight and body kicks that land when they shouldn't. And it's a different game. See, you guys just in and out, onesies, in and out, footsies. Looking to get me to react to where he is. So my focus is I'm not gonna focus on where he is now. I'm gonna hit him where I think he's going to be. Yeah, I think he's just standing right in front of me. I pulled the strike and I feel like he's about to get out of range. It's pretty tactical, but I know the core of what the eraser wants to do. Jab frame trap. That's another issue in this game. It happens. It's pretty inconsistent, but it's very frequent. Like it's inconsistent and like when it happens, but it happens a lot. When you block over commits, you kind of get frozen. You can't even move your head, and it is terrible, especially against a high-rated fighter like TJ Dillashaw. But I felt that I had won the exchanges in round 1. A lot more damaging shots there. Landed that body straight, lead hook to the body right after he mistimed the lunged. No, I was looking at round 2.
And here's another perfectly placed punch.
It's tricky. It's extremely tricky when you're fighting dudes like this. A little bit pretty gimmicky. But the one advantage I can take is that if they're dead set on one thing, I can kind of use that to my advantage, right? Because he's expecting me to react a certain way. I just won't give him that reaction that he wants. Thank you. Yeah. So there he mistimed the jab fade body straight. So that's why he actually went back to the regular range that it's supposed to be at, you know, realistic range. And another thing is that with those body kicks, when we throw them in punching range, they don't do as much damage as you think. Just gonna let my head out for cover. And I just want to win the game of gradual shots. See, I head kicks in punching range so it doesn't do damage. Fires off another meta combo. It's just, this isn't like high pressure meta, but this is just shot selection meta. So it's uppercut hook, jab uppercut hook, straight lead hook, body straight, then the jab fade body straight, jab lead hook straight, jab jab straight. It's a lot of combinations that he's cycling with a certain tempo, and that broken shot, he just goes for it. One thing that's kind of helped me calm down when I was in the middle of this fight, I just had to keep reminding myself, look, that body straight, he's not timing it in a way where it should be timed. You feel me? He's timing it when my stamina's high, right? He's timing when my stamina's high. Yeah, when he lands, he's not doing that much damage. He's not mixing things up. The body kicks that he's throwing those body kicks in punching range. And then, there's another one. Gimmicky. Extremely gimmicky. Caught that kick. Got a little miter out there. Yeah, he's just that jab fade body straight. He's trying to get me to react. And he's in front of me. Extremely broken. Extremely broken. But we're going to get through this. This should actually be a 4th tip. Now, should I also mention when you're fading with a low-rated fighter? Watch the clock. Right? Even though it's an accelerated clock, watch the clock. Because if you really feel like you're pulling ahead, you don't want to make any unnecessary mistakes. And this was kind of like my goal here. Throw off just enough offense, right? Throw off enough offense so I can get this dude to respect my range. But don't throw too much to where he can catch me when my stamina's low. There's the block. He's always targeting the head. The only 2 shots he really uses to attack the body are the jab fade body straight and the body kick. Still a game of patience and footsies.
And starting to find his range here in the pocket. Kick lands for him there.
He's feinting with that punch, showing that punch.
Kick off.
Nice.
Yeah, like I really feel like if the block is a little bit weaker, because no one's gonna take those. This should be. If this was suggested, I think Marshall might have suggested this. You know, when you see guys eat head kicks, right? They block a head kick. You visibly see them get pushed back by that head kick. that's something that I want. You see a guy like block a head kick in this game, and they just kind of, okay, my forearm's in it, I'm fine. Even with punches, I'd say, like in the pocket, I want to see guys like move. I want to see like a reaction out of the fight. Like, oh, I'm getting a hook, I'm getting punched while I'm in the pocket, I gotta go, or I just blocked this kick. You know, like just more immersive stuff that makes you feel like that you're actually in a fight. Because when I'm fighting guys who are intent on fighting gimmicky or just kind of exploit something that they can exploit, it definitely takes me out of the immersion. I am a competitive individual, so I'm obviously still not going to look to lose, but I'm looking to win at all costs. But it definitely takes out the fun of the game for a little bit. Here we go, kind of picking up the pace with the jab, spin to the body. That's a straight strike. Now, if he knew that, he'd be sidestepping him. He's going for the slip straight, which also works. No, while my back is turned. Come in his block, see how he's going to react. Just hoping for him to make a mistake. Jab feint, jab feint. I mentioned this in the Adesanya video, but I really wish for like signature feints. If you guys don't notice the kind of theme with these two showcases, Adesanya has expressed that he wants to do mocap, and I was speaking to Aljamain Sterling on Twitter. He was asking about like videos of his fights and whatnot, and I like found them on MMA Core, and I asked him like, yo dude, like, you need some mocap. He said he didn't even know what that was, which is kind of crazy to me. But it's like, you know, motion capture, they capture your moves, and he has expressed that he would love to come up to Vancouver and show the developers, you know, some of his grappling, some of his striking. You know, he ain't number 2 in the bantamweight division for no reason. Overhead. If there's something I kind of figured out after he threw that overhead, you know, he hadn't been throwing it the entire fight. So my guess was the whole point of the jab feint body straight. If there's one actual bit of strategy that comes with it, is the fact that he's throwing the overhand right after, and he got me to knee ducked into it. He wants me to drop my hands low so he can land that overhand. There's that speed up again. So can't hit him in the spot. He goes for a knee, goes spinning the body, then the body shot, goes for an overhand. Jeez, he's hard rocked, but Aljamain doesn't have too much in his tool set where I can kind of continue to tee off of the body. Yes, I have my teeps and my spins, but the way where my stamina was at, it just wasn't ideal. He goes for a double overhand. I know he's got to block my head. My body's fine. It's not flashing like my head was. Caught that one. Should have taken him down. Thought he would block low. That little whiff. When somebody whiffs at me and you back it up, immediately shoot a low single. If you have an 87 takedown offense or higher and you have access to the single leg, shoot it when you're at that range. Go back and play that back. When they whiff on a knee, it is like almost game for that little single. Going for the knee mark to secure the round. Now, I know that third round was kind of iffy. You could have won that round. I could have won that round. I felt like I won that round, honestly.
Alright, so this fight goes to a decision, not for any lack of effort.
Just because, you know, I got a little bit more rocks in that third round, so I definitely did a little more damage. Show my highlights across the board here.
He deserves to be the winner after one of the bigger efforts of his UFC career.
And with when you hear the commentators sometimes give away who kind of won the fight. You can tell. This one they kind of say he should be the clear winner, and that one stunned him. So I guess the game really scored my body shots. I stayed disciplined. Obviously not my preferred way to fight, mainly because I'm trying to deal with one thing. So I'm not going to end the showcase here against this, because it left a kind of a bad taste in my mouth. So I ended up searching for another fight. Got the W, 29-28 times 2 at 30-27. Got the double. Aljamain Sterling over the former Bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw. And we got one more fight. And this fight is against another player that's in the top 100. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I don't know why he's... You know what you doing in the Bantamweight division, bro? You're supposed to use Karolina? I'll use the Cody Garbrandt for. But dude's in the top 100. He's a pretty decent player. A lot smarter, and he's not really gimmicky. So I was pretty happy to like match up with this dude. Just because all right, I can really kind of showcase just a little bit more of some cleaner striking. Just because I have a better dance partner this time, you know. Aljamain also has a significant reach advantage over Garbrandt. Doesn't feel like it though. No. I didn't really feel like it when I kind of used them at first. But once you get the timing down, the jab works really well. And I can tell by the way this dude is moving, he's not really waiting too much. There's the jab body straight, but he was in the proper range and didn't slide with it. Got the reaction I wanted. So he's going to slip, rear uppercut. Check that kick. Go for the low single. It's tough to deny after you check a kick. You get like full grapple advantage. I always prefer to go for the low single versus the regular takedown. Denied that crucifix. A lot of times in round one, everything I'm pretty much doing is more so a feeling out round just to see how my opponent is processing certain things. So Japanese necktie, waited for a second. Like even with the choke here, right? I'm not really looking to finish his choke. I'm trying to get a gauge on his patterns for his submissions. Like what gait is he favoring the most? And here I'm just looking at control. Remember what I said about watching the clock. Watching the clock. Doing work. This is Aljamain's world. Here I'm grappling. Not to say Cody's a slouch on the ground. You know, he's a state champ in Ohio and he had D1 offers. Took I think 5th or 7th at senior nationals back in high school. Solid wrestler himself. Aljamain Sterling is a D3 All-American over at SUNY Cortland, a rival school to my school. And the way he's blossomed, it's been awesome to see, especially as a fellow New Yorker. And just looking at control, Could go for the Japanese necktie there, but I'm just looking at control. Deal some moderate damage. I was watching the clock. Some knees to the thigh. Denied that, simply tie. He's patient. It's a good sign. He's patient. I know he went to deny the takedown. But that one was slow as hell. My grandmother could deny that. So I managed to get this rear naked choke. Don't get it, but there's 40 seconds left. So unless I allow him to posture up, I'm not going to lose this round by any means. There's no way for me to get knocked out here while I'm controlling his head in my guard. And I'm looking to transition. The moment I see him punch, the moment I see that punch start up, that's when I'm going to go for my transition. Managed to get this triangle choke. Obviously 10 seconds left, so I won't get it, but I just does a pretty good job of scoring, showing that I'm capable in there. And I managed to secure that round relatively soundly. Alright, let's just skip in the video I was talking about. So I'm also wanting to see, like, how's this guy going to adjust? Right? Because he seems to be a smart guy. And a lot of people go for that slip rear uppercut. That's a good counter to the jab fade body straight I was struggling with earlier. Just didn't want to put myself at risk to a jab hook because I had Sterling. Jab took straight. See, there's a few similarities in terms of tempo and cycling that I'm picking up on. That I can kind of utilize Sterling's moveset a little bit more. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. I recognize that this is a better player. Move from orthodox to southpaw. I'm baiting him in. I know he won't shoot. Jab straight, leg kick. It's interesting that he started the fight with a leg kick. And you know, if you're gonna have a leg kick based strategy, you use somebody like a Sunsao, or you use somebody like Marlon, or even Thomas Almeida. But I just assume that the kicks are just to get me to open up. Check that kick again. Backs away from the straight. Catch that kick. Nice. Slip up a rear uppercut. I actually slip a lead uppercut. He's playing the weight again. Show him. No. We're not chasing him. It's this exchange, so I'm just gonna stop. Wait, now he's trying to preempt this slip. That's cool. Wouldn't it be great? You know, like when fighters get that close to each other in real life, it's really easy to clinch. I've been kind of advocating for oh my God, he slipped it. Yeah, he slipped that. I thought he pulled that when I was fighting him, but no, he slipped it because it's a straight strike. But I wish the clinch was just a little bit more fluid. You know, you get people really crashing into each other if they stay too close. You get somebody who's trying to like be a mongoloid and gets overwhelming with strikes. You can just clinch them up. Nice. It's really good timing with that. Gotta take that away. If I take it away, if I see somebody who's getting really comfortable with that head movement, I start chopping at the legs, start chopping at the body. Good block for him there. And I'm just playing a game and just gauging reactions, Jab and hook straight. There it is. I'm gonna assume he's probably gonna try to throw an uppercut next time. Maybe jab lead hook uppercut. So I'm gonna look to slip. I ducked it only because I felt like I knew he was gonna go with the straight again, and I ducked it at the time. But for the third round, I was gonna look to slip. I was gonna look to slip the third strike this time. Back in the middle. Jab straight the uppercut. Now he's opening up. He's throwing a little bit more combinations now. Notice he's not really too focused on my body. You see, your legs are ahead. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. Spin on me, I spin on you. Ooh. Pull that straight. And now I get the clinch. No. That was a lot. That was way easier than I thought it would be. And I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna be extremely disappointed if I get this, considering how the flow of the fight was going. But I knew I wasn't. Back to the grappling. Now that I'm on the bottom, he's not gonna get up. This guy. Oh no, he got up. I thought he'd feel a little bit more comfortable on the ground, so he kind of held his own. He lifted that shot, but he managed to deny it on time. Good for him. It's not gonna stop me. I'm just gonna be a little bit smarter with my shots this time.
Fainting with that kick. Effective punch there.
Drop his guard. He's like straight. Let's see. Let's pick it up.
Big left hand.
I don't know how. That's another thing. I don't know how that jab beat my teeth as it was starting up, but just gotta keep working the body. Leg kick for good measure. Whips another strike, and this time I get the little single. Smack him with a good pulse right there. And for those of you who don't know, Aljamain Sterling has a submission from here as well. Now, not really from half guard while he's postured down. What he does is a takedown counter to try to go backside, so you get the counter knee bar. But he made this guy Karolina Kowalkiewicz. He went for a fatal mistake. He went up, got denied, and I know his stamina was low. Billy Sterling has a tap already perk, and I just knew, I'm like, man, this was a good fight. Yeah, but I just took one mistake. Just one mistake, and he's holding on. Cody's begging for dear life, but that leg is mine, and I just snatched him some ankles. I hope you guys enjoyed that showcase of Aljamain the Funkmaster Sterling. Again, one of my favorite fighters. He's very exciting to watch. His rise in the division has been stellar. He's bounced back from adversity. Took one of the worst L's that you could probably take in this sport and bounced back and took out contender after contender to put himself in the position that he's at now. And I can't wait to see what 2020 holds in store for Aljamain Sterling. Big ups to you, brother. If you guys have any suggestions on who I should showcase next, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you already haven't subscribed. I don't know why. And if you just have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Mero 17, I'm out of here.
decision due to a knee bar. And still the undisputed UFC Bantamweight champion of the world, Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling.
So there he is, all smiles, the undisputed UFC Bantamweight champion of the world. That is the way he came in. That is the way he goes out after turning in a huge submission win here tonight. And now all that's left to do is to celebrate the efficacy